Today, I would like to introduce you to a homeowner in the Oaks Bayside. Please enjoy as they share with you the reasons why they chose this wonderful community as home.
I am a real cheerleader for Oaks Bayside. This exquisite natural community is nestled within the 200-acre Little Sarasota Bay wilderness area. We are surrounded on all of our edges with heavily wooded mangrove forests, where at sunset, as we can see now, the white pelicans and the ibis and the egret are starting to nest. This land has been valued and even cherished for 5,000 years. We have just next door an Indian midden which archaeologists date 5,000 years of human history. The American Indians came to this area, this quiet, secluded bay where fish were plentiful and all of the elements needed in order to sustain them existed. There was also great safety, as tradition tells it, during hurricanes. These same qualities sustain us 20th and 21st century people today on this very special peninsula. The residents of Oaks Bayside are committed to sustainable values. The uniqueness of our community rests in its preservation of its exquisite trees, its Florida native plantings, and its commitment of using 50 acres, 1/4 of its entire property, to be set aside as common land, never to be built upon, always to be maintained for the peace and for the enjoyment of its residents. Families bicycle and walk and jog. They fish and kayak and row. They love the ability of commuting 10 minutes across the intercoastal to go to Palmer Point Beach, which is an exquisite, pristine, several thousand acre Gulf front park on Casey Key. This is an idyllic, peaceful place for people to live. Within the community itself, within the 50 acres of common land, are islands within the roads and nature preserves. There is an American bald eagle nest nestled within what we call the Eagle Preserve. There are red fox run preserves where the little red foxes would prance and frolic in the springtime. There are gopher tortoise homes intertwined in all these areas. On the 3 lakes, which are fishing grounds for the eagle, for the osprey, for the herons and the ibis, fish, tilapia, as well as our own native Florida fish, abound. Bringing the history up from our American Indian heritage here to the early years of the 20th century, Mrs. Potter Palmer from Chicago discovered this particular special piece of land and purchased thousands of acres. But the part that she chose for her home, which we still honor across the street from us here, was Oaks Bayside. And her home faced this beautiful bay filled with fish and fishing birds. And on it, her stately home, which she called the Oaks, was built. From the name of her house comes the name of our house, our property, the Oaks. And adjacent to the Oaks are both Bay Preserve and the Spanish Point, which are the nature preserves and parks which keep the surrounding area undevelopable, so that the peace and the quiet of this area is undisturbed. It is very beautiful. And Casey Key right across the way, I mean, I don't know what more you could want.